जल्दी काट लोगी अभी तो कैची भी नहीं है यार अच्छा है उनको यूं ना करना पड़ेगा उसमें जरा जरा तो ऑयल जो है जब कट जाए तो उनको यूं करके लगाना घनी घनी देखो दादा की कितनी बढ़िया माई की बढ़िया थोड़ी ना है तो पापा जी काटो पापा जी भी काट
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Jigyasa.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Nikhil.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Viresh.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Deepshika.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, children. Wish you a very happy new year.
Same to you.
Same to you, ma'am.
Thank you. May this
Same to
year
you, ma'am.
Same
may
to you,
this year
ma'am.
bring happiness, health, and whatever you want to achieve in your life.
Thank you.
May year fulfill all your dreams that you really want for class 9th, for class 10th, whatever. Fine? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, tell me. All the three sections are there together. Which subject, which topic revision you want? History or civics?
Ma'am, history.
Ma'am, civics.
Ma'am,
History.
history. Ma'am, history.
Ma'am, civics. Ma'am, civics.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
civics.
civics. Ma'am, civics.
So fine, we'll start with civics in this period. And in the next period, we will go for history, right? Right, class? So, but before we start with the class, let's have the attendance, okay? Ninth A. Roll number 1, Anya Gupta is not an Abhay. Abhay Singh Tobar is there? No. Abhinav Pandey?
Present, ma'am.
Abhishek? Aditya, Agrim, Ajit, Akash, Aksada, Akshat, Anamta, Angad.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Anuj, Aryan Kumar Maurya, Aryan Singh, Aryant, Ayush, Bhumika, Chirag. Deepshikha is there.
Yes, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Devan Singh Patel, Harshvardhan Singh Tomar, Himanshu, Kanika, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Kavya, Kavyansh,
Ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Khushbu, Laksh Kumar, Mahin, Manas, Haseen, Kaif.
Ma'am,
Present, ma'am.
present.
Okay, Mahin is present.
Haseen also.
Yes, Haseen is also present. Kaif Ali, Nikhil Nehra, Priya.
Present, ma'am. Nikhil.
Raghav Raj,
Present, ma'am. Raghav Raj present.
Shekhar Shah, Vivan Patel, Yadbendra. Anybody in ninth hai that name I have not taken? Himanshu, I have marked present. Coming to ninth week. Abhyuday, Akansha Yadav, Akshat Kumar.
Present,
Anand.
ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Lavlish. Anand Kumar, Ananya Singh.
Present.
Ananya Singh. Not there. Radhe, Aryan Raj.
Ma'am, Anand Kumar present.
Anand is present. I have marked it up. Then Ashray, Ayush Singh, Bhumika, Dhananjay.
Present, ma'am. Dhananjay.
Dhananjay is present. Yes. Harshvardhan.
Present, ma'am.
Harshit Kumar Singh. Hayabi. Ishika Verma. Kapil Patel. Kuldeep, Kunal, Lavlish, Mehak, Manit, Faiz.
Present, ma'am.
This is Lavlish.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Faiz, Noman, Shoaib, Navjot, Ramsha. Ramsha, are you there? Ronit, Sachin. Sanya, Shivanshi, Ujjwal. Ujjwal is there?
Present, ma'am.
Vibhanshu.
Yes, ma'am.
Vibhanshu. Vishesh.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Section C. Yes. Aiza.
Present, ma'am.
Then Apurva.
Present, ma'am.
Daksh. Dhruv. Gargi.
Present, ma'am.
Okay.
Present, ma'am.
Gaurav Singh. हर्ष
Present, ma'am.
ठीक है हर्ष तोमर जय गुप्ता
Present, ma'am.
बेटा गुप्ता की स्पेलिंग W लिखी हुई है A करो आप लास्ट में जिज्ञासा
Present, ma'am.
जुझार कार्तिकेय मलय मनीष मंथन मोहित गंगवार मोहित कुमार
Present, ma'am.
then
Mohit
Naina
Gangwar
Sharma,
present, ma'am.
Gangwar present Naina Sharma नमन निहारिका ओम पावनी प्रांजल पुनीत सामर्थ जैनेब
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am. Present.
जैनेब पार्थ पुनीत
Puneet.
हाँ पुनीत is present सामर्थ is present जैनेब is present श्रेया
Ma'am. Present, ma'am.
present yes Pavni is अच्छा Pavni is present okay then is
Ma'am. Shreya present.
Shreya is present Pavni is Srishti Gautam
Present, ma'am.
Srishti Singh Siddhant Stuti Swali Tina Viresh
Present, ma'am.
Viresh and Yash
Ma'am, Tina present.
no Tina is present Viresh
Present, ma'am.
Then Yash Mehta, is he there? Chalo. Those who will join, we'll add them on.
Ma'am, sure.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Shaurya is present in the class today.
Yes,
I am
ma'am.
highly obliged. Shaurya, कहाँ थे भाई आप? क्लासेस क्यों नहीं अटेंड करते हो बच्चे? हैं शौर्य?
मैं
बताओ.
करूंगा मैं.
कर लो बेटा रेगुलर, थोड़ा थोड़े दिन कर लो. आप ही का फायदा है बच्चे उसमें, है ना? Okay, Shaurya Shukla is present.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Gargi beta.
Ma'am, actually you said that we will again do the chapter working of institutions as it was quite confusing.
You want me to do it again?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What we can do now, Gargi? You people can ask me your doubt, because taking up the whole thing, मुझे नहीं लगता है कि everyone is interested in listening to that. So whatever your doubts are, you keep asking that way. So that way it will be easy, topic wise, whatever you want. I'll do that way. That way, I think it will be easy for you people to understand as well, if we are going topic wise, right?
Okay, ma'am.
So tell me what exactly you could not understand in that working of the institutions में.
Ma'am, may I ask it tomorrow?
Okay, you can ask anybody who has doubt in this working of the institution, or shall we go with the revision?
Ma'am, go with the revision.
Ma'am, go with the revision.
Okay.
Revision.
So civics,
Revision.
electoral
revision.
politics. Okay, fine. You want electoral politics or you want this chapter?
Ma'am, electoral politics.
Electoral politics.
Ma'am, electoral politics we've already done.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll go with the next topic, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Which one you want me to do? Beta, which one? Constitutional design?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ? वो करें?
Ma'am, constitutional design. Yes, ma'am.
चलो ठीक है.
ma'am.
चलो constitutional design.
Ma'am, you will share the screen or
आप बताओ, जैसा आप लोग कहो, हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
Ma'am, share the screen, ma'am, please.
स्क्रीन शेयर करनी है आप लोगों को. चलो तो 2 मिनट रुको. Give me just 2 minutes, huh?
okay, ma'am.
अच्छा, आप लोगों को वो चाहिए जो हमने वो चैप्टर टॉपिक वाइज जो आप कह रहे हो, वैसा वाला स्क्रीन शेयर करना है आप लोगों के साथ
Yes, ma'am.
क्लास? हाँ?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So we'll go for that. Share screen. Can you all see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. See this. Towards a new constitution of South Africa will not come, right? It is not part of your curriculum. So we'll start from.
Ma'am, towards a new constitution.
This South Africa case study is not part of your curriculum this time.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Mm.
South Africa.
Ma'am, we'll have it from this. Why do we need a constitution?
We'll start from here. Why do we need a constitution? But the problem is that in this particular portion, they are talking about South Africa only, because they have given example of South Africa, and accordingly they are proceeding on, like the South African example is a good way to understand why we need a constitution. And what do constitutions do? The oppressor and the oppressed in this new democracy were planning to live together as equals. So we'll not start from here. We'll go to the next page.
Ma'am, this is constitutional design, no?
Acha. Huh?
Ma'am, this is constitutional design, no?
This is chapter 2 of your civics. Right? Okay. I'm asking from the left-hand side, second paragraph. Okay. What is the best way to build and maintain trust in a situation where people don't rely on each other?
Make a constitution.
Yes, or write down some rules.
Rules.
Or write down some rules or make a constitution. Very good. What do the rules determine for the elected governments?
Ma'am, the power and limit of the government.
Yes, they determine the
Yes,
power
ma'am.
and the limit of the government. Okay. What is the benefit of having a constitution? Right hand side se hum pad rahe hain. What is?
Ma'am, it creates confidence among the citizens.
Yes, it creates confidence among the citizens. Then?
Ma'am, it lays down the limits on the powers of the government and tells what are the rights of the citizens.
Very good. What
Ma'am, it
else?
expresses the aspirations of the people of creating a good society.
Right. What else? One more point is left.
Ma'am, it generates a degree of
It
trust.
generates a degree of trust and
Trust
coordination.
between citizens and the
Ma'am, it limits the government.
It limits the power of the
Powers.
government.
Ma'am, it limits the power of the government.
It limits. Okay. See, constitution is important because it fulfills several conditions. First of all, it generates a degree of trust and coordination, which is required because we all know in a country there are diverse groups of people that come and live together. So to have, to have a degree of trust and coordination among these people, it is very important to have constitution. Secondly, the government that is chosen by the people, it is also important to restrict the government, to restrict the powers of the government. Like the decisions are taken by the government, but then on every aspect, government cannot, take decision on its own. It has to consult the people. That is why this constitution is there. Third thing, it limits the powers of the government and gives certain rights to the citizens to decide what they want, right? Then of course, see, the constitution makers, they are the part of the country itself. Like if you take example of our country, we all know that all the constitution makers, those who were there, those who were part of constitution of the constituent assembly, they, you know, they were the ones who had suffered in the society, who had great experiences. They were part of the British government, provincial government also. They knew what kind of working was required, and you know what kind of society was required to have, you know, to build trust and you know, to have coordination. So for that, this constitution, it expresses the aspirations of the people about creating a good society. Like uh, whatever laws we have in the constitution, for any xyz, the articles that are there, like take example of, you know, constitution, where we want justice for a person who is not, you know, well enough to hire a lawyer. So in that case, the constitution gives a provision that under article 39A, any person who is not in a capacity to hire a lawyer for its defense, the government, the state provides that person with a government defense lawyer.
He can become the lawyer also himself.
हाँ, वो तो अगर पढ़ाई करी हुई तो he can defend himself. But in cases where that person is completely, you know, negligent about the laws or hardly knows about the laws, in that case, the government has to provide that person with a defense lawyer of the government, so that that person can also be properly heard in the court. A fair trial takes place in the court in such cases, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, see, we all know that constitution is one of the important, you know, ingredient of a democracy. Any democratic government cannot work unless and until they have constitution, written rules. So these written rules are very important. Where if we take example of our country, see, our constitution makers, they had, you know, made certain provisions where they knew that they will be able to handle, you know, they will be able to handle the changing times. So the provision of this constitutional amendment was added to the Indian constitution. But there have been many countries where the constitutions were made randomly without giving it, you know, thinking. So there the constitutions were to be changed. But in our case, in India, when we take up our country's example, we know that ours is the lengthiest of the constitution, where whatever provisions are given in the constitution, they are made in such a way that there is always a provision of flexibility, amendment. And there is rigidity also in the constitution, that whatever laws are there, everybody has to abide by that. Even the prime minister and the president, they also fall in that category. They are not above the law. So because we follow the rule of law. Fine?
Okay.
Okay. Coming
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
next page. चलिए, हम आपसे वन वर्ड आंसर्स नहीं पूछ रहे हैं, हम आपसे ये 3 मार्क्स और 5 मार्क्स वाले क्वेश्चंस पूछ रहे हैं, ठीक है बेटा?
Okay, ma'am.
So answers
Okay,
are
ma'am.
जहां से हम
Okay,
क्वेश्चंस
ma'am.
हाँ, is the recording going on?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
फाइन फाइन फाइन. तो जहां से भी हम ये क्वेश्चन पुट अप कर रहे हैं, आंसर इज इन द सेम पैराग्राफ. फाइन.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
And if you have your books, if you people have your books, you can always underline it there in your book, the question that I am asking. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
हाँ जी.
Okay, ma'am.
चलिए. So the first question is, like South Africa, India's constitution was also drawn up under very difficult circumstances. Explain how. ये फर्स्ट 3 लाइंस को हमने इन्वर्टेड कॉमास में रखा है और फिर हमने आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछा है, एक्सप्लेन. It was not easy for Indians to draw, to, you know, come up with a constitution. Beta,
Ma'am,
batao.
please repeat the question.
I am repeating. Like South Africa, India's constitution was also drawn up under very difficult circumstances. Explain how. Yes, Gargi has raised the hand, and who else? Gargi, Viresh, and
Ma'am
Pavni.
Viresh.
Okay, so I'll give chance to Pavni. Pavni?
Ma'am, first of all, the major problem while making the constitution was as recently the country has been parted. So because of that, they were not certain about that what will be the future of the country,
Yes.
and also because as India is a very huge country, so for all the citizens they felt it difficult to make a constitution.
Huh. Okay, very good, Pavni. Gargi, your answer now.
Ma'am, it's same as Pavni, but one more point is there that the people of India were emerging from the status of subjects to that of the citizens.
Yes. See, all the continuing lines from where I have stopped, you can have 3 or 4 points from there, and your answer is complete. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
everyone was giving the same answer. Viresh, your answer was also the same. Viresh? Chaliye.
Ma'am, actually my computer is hanging, so
Huh, no problem, no problem. I am asking that even
ma'am, I have
what-
one more point.
Yes, tell.
Ma'am, the India had many religions and many thinking, so it was very difficult to make a new constitution with one vote for.
No. Come again. I didn't understand your point.
Ma'am, the India was due to different regions and different religions, many had different thinking. So
हाँ ठीक है वो भी आएगा उसके लिए भी question I have a question for that as well. Another question is the making of the constitution for a huge and diverse country like India was not an easy affair. What were the difficulties in framing the Indian constitution? ये second paragraph में है इसका answer. Chalk it out and let me know. Shall I repeat the question?
Yes, ma'am.
The making of the third line, fourth line. The making of the constitution for a huge and diverse country like India was not an easy affair.
ma'am, the British had left it.
Huh. You can who is this? Dhruv? Is it Dhruv?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ जी,
Yes, ma'am.
शुरू से बेटा सारे पॉइंट्स बताइएगा ठीक है Tell all the points.
The merger of these princely states was difficult and uncertain task.
शुरू से बताओ भाई ऐसे ये तो बड़ा इनकम्प्लीट सा आंसर लग रहा है ना शुरू से बताओ आंसर आप बताओगे द मेकिंग ऑफ द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मेकिंग ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन फॉर अ ह्यूज एंड डाइवर्स कंट्री लाइक इंडिया वाज वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉलोइंग आर द पॉइंट्स फर्स्ट पॉइंट बताओ ध्रुव
Ma'am, may I tell?
यस बताओ बेटा
Ma'am, the making of the constitution for a huge and diverse country like India was not an easy affair because of the following points.
Yes, very
First, the British had left it to the rulers of the princely states to decide whether they wanted to merge with India or with Pakistan.
और remain independent ठीक है second point बताओ next point बताओ
Ma'am,
And
these
the
princely
merger of these princely states was a difficult and uncertain task.
ठीक है next point
Ma'am, when the constitution was being written, the future of the country.
हाँ ठीक
And
है,
the
point
makers
B.
of the makers of the constitution had anxieties about the present and future of the country.
Yes, this whole is the answer for the question. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, Gargi, would you like to sum up all the points?
Yes, ma'am.
कर दो बेटा, sum up करो सारे points से.
Ma'am, the making of constitution for a huge and diverse country like India was not an easy affair because first the British had left it to the rulers of princely states to decide whether they wanted to merge with India or with Pakistan or remain independent. Second, the merger of these princely states was a difficult and uncertain task.
Very good.
Third, the future of the country was not as secure, and the makers of the constitution had anxieties about the present and future of the country.
Very good. And one more point you can add is that at that time, the people of India were emerging from the status of subject to that of citizens. Second, the country was born through a partition on the basis of religious differences, which was a traumatic experience for the people of India and Pakistan. ये पॉइंट भी आप इसमें ऐड कर सकते हो, भले ही हमने पहले वाले क्वेश्चन के आंसर में उसको ऐड करा हो, बट दिस कैन आल्सो बी पार्ट ऑफ द सेकंड क्वेश्चन दैट आई हैव आस्क्ड, राइट?
Ma'am,
हाँ जी धनंजय.
Okay, ma'am.
बोलो
ma'am,
बच्चे.
what is princely state?
बेटा उस टाइम पे ना जूनागढ़, हैदराबाद, ये सब ना प्रिंसली स्टेट्स हुआ करती थी, जहाँ पे जो रूलर्स थे वो किंग्स थे, ठीक है? तो वो प्रिंसली स्टेट्स कहलाती थी. वो ब्रिटिश
Okay,
के भी
ma'am.
ब्रिटिश के प्रोविंसेस का भी पार्ट नहीं हुआ करती थी. वहां पे राजा अपना खुद राज कर रहे थे. तो जब इंडिया जब इंडिपेंडेंट हुआ तो जो प्रिंसली स्टेट्स थी उनको बड़ी टेंशन थी इस बात की कि भाई अब तो जो है ब्रिटिश राज खत्म हो रहा है, कहीं ऐसा ना हो ये लोग हमें अपने इंडिया जो है वो अपनी बाउंड्री में हमें ले ले. तो उस टाइम पे फिर ये हुआ था कि भाई जो अंग्रेज थे, जो ब्रिटिश थे, उन्होंने ये कहा था, उन्होंने ये प्रोविजन दिया था कि ये प्रिंसली स्टेट्स की मर्जी होगी कि वो इंडिया के साथ मर्ज होना चाहते हैं, इंडियन बॉर्डर्स के साथ एड ऑन होना चाहते हैं कि नहीं होना चाहते हैं. हालांकि जूनागढ़ जो था प्रिंसली स्टेट, इन लोगों ने बहुत प्रॉब्लम, हैदराबाद, जूनागढ़, इन्होंने बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स क्रिएट करे थे. जब हमारा स्टेट, आपको याद होगा क्लास 8 में आपने पढ़ा होगा हिस्ट्री में, स्टेट्स एक्ट, हाँ, स्टेट रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन एक्ट जो था, उसमें
Yes,
सरदार
ma'am.
वल्लभ भाई पटेल जो थे, उन्होंने बहुत तरीके से इनको कन्विंस करने की कोशिश करी कि आप जो है पार्ट बन जाओ, आपको सारी फैसिलिटीज हम देंगे. ये लोग नहीं माने, बट लेटर ऑन दे अग्रीड टू बी पार्ट ऑफ द कंट्री. ठीक है?
Yes, ma'am.
जैसे जम्मू
Okay, ma'am.
कश्मीर जो था, जम्मू कश्मीर जो था उस समय जयसिंह, राजा जयसिंह के अंडर में था, तो उस टाइम पे वो नहीं एग्री करे कि जो है हम इंडिया का पार्ट बनेंगे. तो जो अफगान जी थे ना, नहीं पठान या अफगान में से कोई था जिन्होंने अटैक कर दिया था. तो फिर उस टाइम पे ये हुआ था कि भाई जो राजा जयसिंह थे उन्होंने जो है आनंद फानन में जो इंडियन गवर्नमेंट थी उनसे हेल्प ली, और फिर इस तरीके से जो है कश्मीर इंडिया के कंट्रोल में आया था. मतलब पहले जो है राजा जयसिंह जो है पार्टी नहीं बनना चाहते थे इंडिया का, उन्होंने कहा कि भाई कश्मीर अलग रहेगा, वो इंडिया में हम उसको एड ऑन नहीं करेंगे. बट ये जब लड़ाई हुई, जब उनपे अटैक हुआ, तो उन्होंने इंडियन गवर्नमेंट से हेल्प ली, और फिर जो उन्होंने हेल्प जब ली तो उन्होंने कहा कि भाई अगर आप लोग मुझे बचा लोगे तो मैं जो है
वो पाकिस्तान में भी नहीं गए.
he was not a Pakistani. He was a Hindu ruler only, but he never wanted Kashmir to be part of India because अपना उनका रीजन होगा, भाई वहां के राजा थे वो, तो लग रहा होगा कि भाई हमारा जो है राजसी ठाट बाट ना चला जाए अगर हम मिल गए जो है कंट्री के बाउंड्रीज के साथ, तो है ना.
Yes, ma'am.
This much is clear, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. Fine. Coming to the next part. Okay. What is this Constituent Assembly? and why was it formed?
Ma'am, please repeat, ma'am.
What was Constituent Assembly and why was it formed?
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, Constituent Assembly was an assembly of people's representatives that writes a constitution for the country.
ठीक है.
And ma'am, it was elected to make the constitution.
It was formed to make the Indian.
To make the constitution, and so that the views of each and every citizen is presented by the Constituent Assembly and in the constitution.
Okay, very good. Anybody else for the same answer? Is it correct? बताओ बच्चे.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody else for the
Yes,
same
ma'am.
answer?
Constituent Assembly was of 299 members.
That was my next question. Why did you answer it right now? Okay.
Ma'am, I wanted to add it my definition.
Chalo, in the definition. ठीक है, fine. It is okay. Now tell me. In which year the resolution at the Karachi session of the Indian National Congress dealt on how independent India's constitution should look like?
Ma'am, in 1931.
1931
Ma'am,
at the
19
Karachi session of the Indian National Congress dwelt.
Very good.
From
Now-
1930.
Okay. In which year Motilal Nehru and 8 other Congress leaders drafted a constitution for India?
1928.
Ma'am, 1928.
1928.
Okay. Who drafted constitution for India in 1928?
Motilal Nehru.
Motilal Nehru.
Congress leader.
Eight other
Very-
Congress leaders.
Very good.
And 8
Motilal
other
Nehru
Congress
and
leaders.
8 other Congress leaders, right? Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
fine. Very
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
Now, another question.
Ma'am, what do they mean by dwell?
They dwelt मतलब उन्होंने बनाया. Dwelling का मतलब क्या होता है? एक साथ घूमना फिरना ना, एक साथ कोई भी काम करना. तो यहाँ dwelt का मतलब होगा literal meaning तो dwelt का आप लिखो. रुको आप बता रहे हैं. इसका literal meaning होगा आपका to live or stay in a place. हम कहते हैं ना dwellers आपने पढ़ा होगा इंग्लिश में कई बार कि भाई they were of dwellers of the same place, एक साथ रहने वाले लोग जो होते हैं ना.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ जी.